Hello, on this episode of The Average Tabletop Gamers, we are going to be having a look at the Army Painter Wargames Mega Brush Set. Hello, I'm Sven.
And I'm Lee.
And today we're going to be having a quick look at this, the Army Painter Wargames Mega Brush Set. So we'll have a quick look at what you get in the box. We'll give it a quick review because Lee here has had one for a while and he's been using it. So I guess there's nothing really to stop us just diving straight in and seeing what you get in this box.
Yeah.
Obviously this is not aimed at any particular gaming sphere. It's your standard paint brushes for use with your whatever paint you're using. I guess Army Painter would probably like you to use some Army Painter paint, but
works pretty well with the stuff that I've got as well with the other paint suppliers. So
straight out of the box we've got a Army painting guide.
It's a really nice little book, to be quite honest.
Which will, well, if you want to, since you've obviously read through this a few times and you know what you get in the guide, if you want to go over some of the bits that are in here.
Basically, I mean, the box set comes with this lovely little book. I've still got mine. That's, you know, how much I treasure it. I've been painting 20 plus, if not a bit longer years. I'm not that good at it still, but I like reading every little bit I can. And the way this is put together, it's really nice. It's all about the tools, the technique, the stuff you've probably seen before, just in a different format. It's obviously put together by somebody who really likes miniatures because the pages are just full of different examples of science fiction, orcs, and different game types and things like that, and different techniques. And it kind of, in a teary-eyed, not that we get reminiscent on the average tabletop gamers, but it does remind me of the old school sort of magazines we all used to read, which had like, this is how you do your shading, this is how you do your block.
I was just about to say, this reminds me of the old White Dwarfs where you would get the, well, probably the late 90s White Dwarfs where they would have, you know, here's a guide of dry brushing, or here's a guide of washing, using inks, etc. But yeah, so that's a nice little comprehensive guide. I mean, and it is obviously,
it's got some fantastic little, obviously it's advertising a lot of their own equipment.
I was going to say, yeah, so I mean, they've got a bit there on using tufts and wire to dress your bases, and obviously it's got the catalogue code for all of the Army Painter bits. And I will say, I do use the Army Painter tufts. I do really like those.
The revelation for me was when I opened it up and it had about the tins of shade.
Oh, the quick shade.
The quick shade, but in a tin that you dip the miniature in, and I thought that's genius.
The dip, shake and dry quick shade tins.
I thought that's like a 5-year-old doing an army, but that's brilliant. It just works, you know.
I know that Warlord have just teamed up with Army Painter to start doing some kind of specific paint sets for their different game ranges, and I know that some of theirs have got those tins of quick shading, so I think we'll probably be picking up one of those sets in the future, and we might even show some quick shade. We might even try and ruin someone's wallpaper with a flicking miniatures full of quick shade around.
You won't mind, I mean, you know.
Okay, so let's actually get into what we've paid for here. So there's another little pamphlet in there which I think is, that's pretty much just another advertising supplement for Army Painter range. So we've got all the different basing and primers, base coats, brush sets, tools, etc. Okay, so I think you get 10 brushes in total in the set, including, and they do go to great length to show us at the front of the box, you do get a Masterclass Kalinsky sable brush.
Different types of sable.
Yeah, so if you've bought paintbrush in your time, if you've looked at paintbrush in the past, if you're aware of things like Winsor & Newton as a brand of paintbrush, you're probably aware of Kalinsky sable. And I've got a set of Winsor & Newton Series 7s, and they're the Kalinsky, and you know, it's really good. Over the years I've had all sorts of different paintbrushes out of different materials, and the one thing I found with a good sable is it doesn't kind of split and fray at the end, especially if you look after them.
These are Rothmarder, it says in the book, Rothmarder sable hair.
So you've got the Kalinsky Masterclass brush, which is that black one there. And you've got 9 or 10 of the Rothmada sabres, they say, which are these white ones. So, I'm going to refer to the back of the box here. So it gives you, in the box, you get a one called Psycho, which is molecular precision.
It's brilliant.
Which I'm assuming is one of these really small ones here.
In
fact, it'll probably be that
it's
one.
It's labelled on the side there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you get insane detail, character, regiment, monster, small dry brush, large dry brush, vehicle, and then as I say the master class brush, that Kalinsky. And this is the thing that I've got used to a bit with some of the brushes I've got, is these sort of like triangular barrel brushes.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing because I often put a brush down to the side when I'm switching brushes, and on my desk I'll just hear this roll, and then I'm going to be rooting around like this, trying to avoid my head on the desk to pick the brush up. With this, they don't go anywhere. It's brilliant, and you can grip them really well.
Yeah, because it's not too. You've still got like a nice surface to grip the brush without it getting in the way. Because I've had some, I think it was some of the brushes that came with the Vallejo paint set that I got. That had those, like that triangular barrel shape, and I just didn't like them. I didn't like the feel of them. So yeah, so you get a good range of brushes, everything from like silly detail, that Psycho brush.
Which I will tell you now, if you like putting pupils and irises on your miniatures, that's the brush for you, because you literally, it's just doop doop. I mean, brush, put it away until the next time you do eyes.
I don't believe I can actually see the end of that brush. I think that's kind of a.
It's a fantastic little brush. Honestly, it's just absolutely amazing.
Okay, I'll probably never use that one because my eyes aren't good enough for that detail. But then we've got like your normal kind of range of mid-sized brushes, and then you've got your vehicle or terrain brush.
Yeah, fantastic.
Which is a decent size. I mean, if you're going to do big terrain, you're still going to need something much bigger than that. But I guess if you're doing like a diorama piece, that's probably good enough. And then you get a stippling brush, which is something which I've never had before.
Yeah.
Other than when I've had an old dry brush which has died.
For me, it's in the set. I've yet to use it, but I've got to say it's inspiring me to learn more about stippling and using stippling on miniatures. And that's the thing, it broadens your range of your painting skills.
So the brushes themselves feel really nice, and they don't feel like some of the sable brushes I've had in the past, that they almost feel like an acrylic.
Plasticky.
Yeah, they actually, they're quite soft, they're quite nice, but they seem to hold their shape. So overall it's not a bad little set of brushes, especially if you know, you're graduating from your starter brush set, you know, your first couple of brushes maybe that you've bought for your first few models, into a decent range for really getting into the hobby. So I guess price, that's what everyone's going to want to know. Bearing in mind,
well, you got them for nothing because of a Christmas.
Well, I got them for nothing because they were a Christmas present, and so
from an awesome brother.
Yeah, from an awesome brother. But this retails, I think, depending on where you look, you'll get this anywhere from about 25 to 35 quid, depending on which site you look at. I don't know what the official RRP is for this, but considering when I bought my Winsor & Newton Series 7, I think I paid 35 quid for 5 brushes. For that amount of brushes, it's not bad. I know they're not all Kalinsky sable, but actually, if you're not a pro painter, I don't know how much that's going to.
I mean, personally, I think when it comes down to it, the amount of wear and tear that the brushes take, would you want to be using your Kalinsky brushes all the time? I mean, I know I've got one Winsor & Newton brush, and I've got one Winsor & Newton brush, and I'm scared to use it.
So I just have confirmation there that on most online retailers you'll find it for about 32 quid for the set.
Thanks, Gary.
Yeah, I mean, I say I've got Winsor & Newtons and I really like them, but I say they were expensive for a small number of brushes, whereas here you are really getting, I guess with the exception of getting kind of, you know, like a 3 or a 4 inch giant brush for doing big landscape bits, you're getting everything you're going to need here to paint.
I'll just go down to Wilco's for that.
Yeah, everything you need.
Sorry, just big in Q territory, that like.
So you've been using this, or you've been using your set of these for about 6 months or so. How have you found them in terms of wear and tear and use after a while? 'Cause, and that's the one thing, you buy a brand new brush and then you know, you use it for a month, you wash it, you're drying it, and then all of a sudden you get that little pointy stray like bristle that's coming out, or they start to fall out. You know, the ferrule comes loose, or even what's worse is the ferrule's got a burr on it, and you end up where you've sliced all your fingers open.
Yeah.
On the metal parts.
Yeah, well, I bought them around about 6-7 months ago now. As you can see, I've still got them in the box. And the reason being is when I got that, I thought, I'm always losing the little plastic ends to the brushes, and I keep the rest of my brushes in a little cup on my painting table. And this way I can kind of keep them a little bit more pristine, and it works. I mean, here's my set. They look a little bit grubbier, that's all. But the brush that gets the hammering, and the one that you'll find is a really good go-to brush, is the Regiment brush. Okay, and I've just dropped the little thing off the end, I'll pick it up in a bit. There's the Regiment brush. Now that will pretty much do everything on a miniature. It's generally what you would go to for your mid-range brush. It's great quality, and if you want to do a comparison, there's 6 months in.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of size-wise, that's about the size of your, like a number 1 to a number 2 brush if you were getting like, as I say, like the Winsor & Newton say. That's kind of the size of that Regiment brush.
So the brushes themselves, they've held up really well. I've been doing a lot of painting this year. I'm using a lot of different techniques. A lot of you'll have seen the stuff that I've done with the 7TV stuff, the Blood Bowl stuff, the things I've been posting on there. That has done the donkey work, to be quite honest. If I was going to go, there's the next one that I generally take a hammer on is the character brush, which is sort of, yeah, not quite detail, but detail. So when you want to do the smaller things on the hands, or you know, a little bit of markup work, that's great as well. I haven't used, actually I've used the Kilinsky brush once, and again I think I'm just because I'm scared of it. I'm always using the Psycho brush because essentially paint the eyes white and then Psycho brush 2 dots and the eyes are done. But one of the reasons I think they've been doing well, and this is one of the recommendations, it's something I kind of discovered 2 or 3 years ago, and if you, no matter what brushes you use, I think investing in a tub of this, it's not very expensive, it's about £4 or £5, and this is the Masters Brush Cleaner and Preserver. It's a generic brush cleaning soap, and it's literally a tub of hard soap, like almost like the stuff you wash your hands with. It's a bit gritty, smells lovely lemon, and as you can see, the soaps are discoloured. I keep washing my brushes every now and again. It takes all the crud out, it keeps the brushes nice and clean, and despite the workload they've had, I can honestly say I'm really glad I bought these. I bought a pack of really cheap sable brushes online for about £6. They lasted about 4 months, but they were really good. These guys still going strong. I'm not going to need to replace them for a long time. And again, I think the brush soap just extends the life of them. So yeah, big thumbs up from me. Best investment when it comes to painting I've made this year has been this little box of things. And I hope you're going to enjoy your present.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to using them. I mean, for essentially what works out at about £3 a brush. I think initially I wasn't expecting much, but now I see them. I've seen the way the range you get. I've seen the way you've been using them. I'm looking forward to actually using some of these brushes.
Well, you never expect much out of my Christmas presents. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to using these, and I'll obviously post anything I paint on the page, the Instagram, the Twitter, etc. like that. You'll see some things like that, and you can see exactly how good or bad they make my painting, or how better or worse they make my painting. Let's face it.
Oh, don't put yourself down, Stephen. The rest of the lads will do that for you.
So yeah, that is the Wargames Mega Paintbrush set from Army Painter. It gets a thumbs up from Lee, so we will endorse this on his say-so. So that's another video from us here at the Average Tabletop Gamers. So remember that you can check out all of our social medias. We've got Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and you should be seeing the names scrolling along at the bottom of the screen right now. So go and check out there. We're going to be posting a lot more stuff on Instagram and Twitter this year. So a lot of the stuff that we're painting and we're playing, you'll see on there. We'll try and get some really nice glamour shots in the light box, or maybe the spinny turntable setup, so you can see the glorious stuff that we're trying to produce.
And if you've got any requests based on anything that me, the guys, or Stephen, Ben, Gary, Ian's done, any of the games, any of the miniatures, the tutorials we've talked about, potentially resin and stuff up and coming, just make a comment and we'll see if we can throw something together.
Yeah, hit us up in the comments, and remember, like, share, subscribe, and hit the notify bell just to make sure you don't miss anything from us here at the Average Tabletop Gamers. So from me, Sven, and Lee, that's all for now, and we'll see you very soon.
Happy painting.